What is the weirdest reason someone stopped dating you? She found out I was Asian. She thought I was Hispanic the entire time. We had been going out for almost 4 months. This is the plot to that old song Secret Asian Man. My ex-husband's best friend actually has a shirt that says this on it. He is Vietnamese and finds it hilarious. As we all do. I had a friend who wanted kids. Her longtime BF had been adamant about not wanting kids. Then she found out she had a condition that would make it a lot harder for her to have kids. Possibly impossible. She took the news hard, so did her BF. He still didn't necessarily want kids, but he was really upset the choice had been taken out of his hands. They argued because she thought the only silver lining in the situation was that he didn't want kids anyway. They briefly broke up. He told her he was a dick. They got back together. 8 years later they are married with 2 kids. This is a story and a half tbh. Dating me made her realize she is ready for love again. So she dumped me and got with her ex. That is rough as F. That is straight up uncalled for. I was too nice. Briefly dated a guy and he said it was a turn off that I was super friendly with staff at restaurants or grocery stores, gladly holding doors open for others, smiling when I pass people on the street, that kind of thing. Apparently he wanted someone who valued themselves more, and that being nice like that is advertising I'm a doormat. Bullet dodged. I had a girlfriend tell me she hated the fact that I was so punctual. Because she was constantly late for things, it made her feel like a jerk. But it didn't make her stop being late. I realized things weren't going to last. I was an EMT. We went to see Twilight New Moon. A guy a few rows ahead had a seizure. I had them stop the movie and call an ambulance while I got the guy out of the aisle so he wouldn't hurt himself against something. They refunded everyone and cancelled the show. Never heard from my date again. WTF. That's a hero moment. Their loss. Hero X2. He also saved those people from a Twilight movie. If I was stuck in that theater, I might have a seizure too in order to get out of it. What kind of date goes to that bad of a movie? The kind where you want to have fun without watching the movie. As far as I know, all the times I've been dumped have been for legit reasons. However, there is one that stands out from the rest of that long and distinguished list. At my high school, we had these speakers overhead for announcements and such, but they would also play these really loud beeping tones whenever the bell rang. We are walking down the hall one day right after school let out, and she decides that she's going to dump me. It just so happened that we were standing right underneath one of these speakers at the time. I just don't think we should be together anymore because bang, bang, bang. Off goes the final warning bell for bus riders, and she trots away with her face in her hands, deeply moved by whatever it was she's just said. It's been 27 years, nearly to the day, actually, and I still have no idea how that sentence was supposed to end. I never asked her about it because being 15 at the time I just played it off like I didn't care and didn't want to look bad by going back and asking her why. So I've just kind of accepted that it's one of those unsolved mysteries that I'll just never know the answer to. At this point, not knowing is almost more fun. Got a cool story to tell on Reddit out of the deal. Anyway, I bought her a talking troll doll. Remember the troll doll fad in the 90s? She hated them, but I had no idea. I saw one that spoke some trendy phrase she used a lot and bought it for her. She broke up with me later that week and said she hates troll dolls and just can't see me the same way. That's alright. Her dad and I are still good friends 30 years later. Lost the woman, gained a homie. Losing the queen doesn't end the game. He kept the king. Daughter is the queen. Dad is the king. House Targaryen. We were different religions. She went to Jesuit camp over the summer and came back and said everyone convinced me to dump you because you're Greek American, and I'm a Christian. Needless to say, I was dumbfounded. No one there realized that your heritage/nationality wasn't a religion, as I was also a Christian. Definitely dodged a bullet. She landed on this conclusion / with feedback / the Bible having been translated into Greek before spreading across the rest of the world didn't occur to her. Lol. In high school, I knew a guy who broke up with a girl he adored because his friends started calling him a chubby chaser. Frankly, I thought she was adorable and maybe 30 pounds overweight at the most, but more importantly, she made him happier than I'd ever seen him. I felt as bad for him as I did for her when he broke up with her. He said she told him, "I thought you were better than this. I'm disappointed in you." When he told her they should stop seeing each other, "I thought you were better than this. I'm disappointed in you." If I were him, and I still cared about her, that shite world probably made me cry. Did they ever get back together? They were apart, and he was miserable for about 6 months. Another guy kept asking her out, but she wasn't interested. She was obviously still hung up on my friend. One of our mutual friends told her, "I swear, the nanosecond you go out with another guy, your jackass ex will come running back with his tail between his legs." They were wrong. It took 2 dates before my friend begged her to take him back. They are very happy now though. I was out on a date with a woman who told me that she enjoyed smoking meth and playing Beyblades with her roommates. I told her that's not my jam and I wouldn't be down for that environment. In response, she got up and left, saying that I was too judgmental. She told me that I shouldn't knock it until I try it. I was going to text her later and tell her that this was a deal breaker anyways, but it was strange to be seen as the asshole in that one. Crack den Carrie Bradshaw. I couldn't help but wonder, were the Beyblades spinning out or were we? This is the best thing I've read all day. My now ex fiance threw an absolute temper tantrum because I did not agree to change my last name to not his last name. For example, if his name was John Smith, he introduced himself and everyone knew him as John Jones. So he wanted me to change my name to Op Jones. He would not accept a hyphen, Op last name, Jones, or his own last name, Op Smith. He was not rich, and his family was not in politics or well known for anything. Jones was his mom's last name and he just liked it better. His dad's last name was a normal last name. But why did I need to go through the pain in the but to change my last name for it to still not be the same as my husband's? I also suggested we both change our last names to Jones, and he said no, he couldn't do that to his dad, but I was supposed to ditch my family name for a random last name. Oh. This was in high school, summer between 11th and 12th grade. I had a girl that I'd been dating for a couple of months tell me, mid-date, that she didn't like that I got more attention than her when we walked into a party where we both knew people, so she broke up with me. I mean, at least it was pretty much the most flattering breakup in history. Too many people enjoy your presence. Please F off. B. He wanted to be with someone he could talk to about things that interest him, like quantum physics. He literally worked in IT and only watched one documentary about physics, and I guess that gave him superior intelligence. I dated a guy very secure in his genius. I broke up with him when he bought me an abridged book every 5 years or so. I Google him to see his many achievements, or I will when he has any. Anyway, haha, love the ending. You have a way with words. I told him that I do a basic check of my dates' names in the provincial crime database. It just searches for public files. I was a 24-year-old girl living alone in the middle of a big city, so I always checked out the guys before getting into their cars. This came up naturally, and the guy flipped out about how I was a narc and how I can't be trusted. Weirdly, his name pulled up nothing, not even a parking ticket. I had a girl very timidly ask me for my last name before meeting. She had already given me her address to pick her up. I wasn't insulted, but I was a little worried that she didn't do that step first. Any guy who's offended by this is at best an idiot. Right now, I'm only casually dating, and since it's casual, I don't necessarily care to get their last name, although now I'm feeling I should. If I get it, that's cool. If I don't, that's fine too. One guy I was seeing told me his last name, so I put it in my phone contacts. After a couple more dates, I found out he was joking and that he gave me a fake last name. He told me his real last name, but I didn't know how to spell it, so I asked him. His demeanor immediately changed and asked me why I needed to know. I gave him my phone on his contact page so he could type it in. but he put in another joke name. Eventually I did find out how to spell it. I needed his full name for an event ticket. And he leaves his mail out on his kitchen counter. But I thought that was such a weird interaction. I don't know about the reason being weird, but a guy I went out with only a couple times broke up with me right before our date because I hadn't slept with him yet, and he found a girl who put out faster than I did. I was genuinely relieved because sometimes the trash just takes itself out. A couple months later he had the audacity to hit me up and ask if I'd be interested in dating again. Did we date the same guy? Lol. I met someone who wanted to become official 2 weeks into dating. Reasonably, I said that was too soon and wanted to spend more time with him first. He apparently thought that meant I was never going to be interested in a serious relationship. So he started secretly hitting up his ex. He dumped me a few days before my birthday, which we had plans for, because his ex wanted to get back together. They eventually broke up, and he then proceeded to sporadically hit me up for the next couple of years, asking if I wanted to date him again. They really are something else. You dodged a bullet. You're a smart and independent woman. And I hate that you're more intelligent than I am. You intimidate me, and you probably won't get along with my family. I still don't know if he was F with me, but he actually used these words to break up with me. We were casually dating for a few months. He was a well-educated lawyer from the UK. I was baffled. There are some men who make it all the way to adulthood before they're confronted with the fact that not all women are as helpless as their mothers. It's just that their fathers prefer relationships on easy mode. Early childhood relationship models can be difficult to break away from, especially if they saw it as a successful relationship. The first time she stayed over at my place, and also the first time we were intimate, she broke up with me the next day because overnight I turned my back to her during the night. Who sleeps in one position all night? Why didn't you sleep facing her, validating her presence in the night? You should be ashamed, man. I was ashamed. Now it's just a story. I dated a very handsome man from Munich who said a few weeks into dating him, "My penis. You will like it." I laughed and said maybe. Next week, I do not find this to be a mutually beneficial relationship anymore. Still wonder about that guy sometimes. That is so German. FWIW. We kept working together and there were no hard feelings, lol, between us. I wanted him to wear a clean shirt to my family's largest Easter gathering. There were other factors, but that was the incident that turned him against me. We were together for 3 years. I'm still trying to get over the heartbreak and general WTFness of it all. Is it really a loss if he didn't have basic hygiene and decency to wear a clean shirt at a gathering? That's what my brain says, but my heart doesn't want to listen. I miss him so much. But yeah, you are 100% right. Wondering if your shirt guy knows my sock chick. They seem to have hurt us the same confusing way. Hugs. I'm an artist. This guy and I were fairly compatible, and I could see us building a solid life together. But the sexual chemistry was not there at all. I didn't have the guts to tell him that though. I mentioned, over dinner, how much I like glitter as an artist to add texture to my work. He immediately expressed his extreme distaste for glitter, even saying how he wouldn't allow it in his house. I saw my chance. Okay, I saw my chance to not break a man's self-esteem and say how bad at sex he was, and I took it. I might have exaggerated my love for glitter a little, but this man became teary-eyed as I talked about all the jars of various glitter I have in my studio. How you can't leave my house without glitter sticking to you. I saw all the love, all the admiration, all the attraction fade from this man's eyes, so he can go on and have terrible sex and not feel bad about himself. I relied on glitter, and it worked. I wish I could say I'm sorry, but I'm not. I went home and used 4 different types of glitter on my next painting. I too despise glitter. I wouldn't break up with someone over their love for glitter, but my younger self's fragile ego would have thanked you, lol. In the 2nd grade, Jard took me out for the second date of my life. His mother took us to see the Big Green. On the ride home, she asked what church we went to. We didn't. The next day Jard was being rather cold. When questioned, he broke it off. He said going to church was the only way to get Jesus in your heart, and that was very important to him and his mom. I didn't see much of Jard again until high school. He had gotten one of those D piercings and wanted everyone to call him a nickname associated with it. I can't remember. D-ring or D-bag or something. Last I saw him, he was a total chode. As a chode, I'm sure the piercer appreciated having the surface area to work with. He got a puppy and decided he couldn't balance that with dating. I broke up with someone because I got a kitten that she gave me, and she never wanted to be at my place because she thought the kitten was annoying. Pets are for life. People not so much. Red flag TBH. Who thinks a kitten is annoying? You dodged a bullet. I didn't get drunk enough. He was wanting to get drunk every other night. Glad you got out of that. It's certainly not a dynamic you want. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we were like 17, so we still thought drinking was the most baddest thing you could possibly do. That makes more sense, at least, lol. I wanted affection/attention. God forbid you actually have needs. They said I had bad posture. Dang man. That must be a lot on your shoulders. Because I haven't played Overwatch. We are both cosplayers. He loved Overwatch and wanted me to cosplay as Genji because he cosplayed as Hanzo and had this fantasy or something. I told him I have never played WoW. He went and found a Genji cosplayer he started having an intimate relationship with behind my back while still dating me. Well, practically it was me who left, but let's say I took the hint. I guess it's alright, but the communication was shit. This is so weirdly specific. I guess he just really liked Overwatch. I wasn't a jealous wreck. Apparently the fact that I was cool with her hanging out with other male friends, people she was friends with before she even met me, was a red flag. Talk about dodging a bullet. I'm breaking up with you because you don't disapprove of the way I choose to behave you at one for sure. She was trying to make him jealous on purpose. There's girls out there that like when their boyfriend gets mad about other guys. Avoid. She dumped me because she couldn't not spend time with me and not have crazy amounts of sex. We were in college and she wanted to be top of the class and go to med school, so she dumped me to study. She did both. I actually get this. Focus require res focus. Still a rough exit. She had her hair cut slightly and I didn't notice. How dare you not notice an inch and a half taken off and exactly 0 other things different. That cost $75. $75? Where does she go? I'd do covet assassin work to find a salon that only charges me $75. I'm paying $430 for a color and cut next Friday, not including tip. It's giving me anxiety. It was the cheapest consultation I got.